Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Moviecast episode 710. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Corey Feinsod
Yo.
and Tony Korkanakis.
Hey, hey, hey.
Welcome, guys. Welcome, listeners. Welcome, viewers. And welcome, Mike, to join the podcast as well. He's hopping on here right now. We are live on Twitch Tuesday night starting at 8 o'clock. So please join us for these broadcasts. We typically start with our movie cast. I don't think we ever really don't do that. Yeah, I don't have us on here yet, but I don't like this interface on Twitch anymore. I'll just say it. This app interface, I just don't like it. I can't find anything. But yeah. Oh, there we are. There we are. I'm on our broadcast now. We are live. You know what? Subscribe, get notified. YouTube, if you don't have the live broadcast, is all of our content. So subscribe over there too, guys. All right. This is the movie cast. So, welcome. And you know what, guys? While you've been watching, I was trying to think like if I watched much this week, and yeah, I don't know if I did. I played a lot. I played a lot of video game this week.
A
So
video game.
a video game, not
Yeah,
video games. But watched wise, I mean, the Caped Crusader. I think did I finish that last week? I don't remember. Oh, I didn't
No.
finish it last week. I can talk about that. You know, after our conversation, Tony, you weren't wrong. Like, you're not wrong. Like, what does it bring that's different? And I do say though that I did like the finale of the show quite a bit.
Yeah, finale is
I
good.
thought, yeah, I thought that showed a little bit of direction. But my biggest gripe with this entire show is the length of it. Like, if it was a 25 episode show or whatever they used to be, different show. I feel like there's not enough story content for just 10 episodes. That's the problem. Like, it's just the old style of the show was great, don't get me wrong, but it's not enough for 10 episodes. That's it. So
Yeah, that's pretty much what I
yeah.
was saying. Like, I don't mind if they're going to be episodic about the
Yeah.
season and have, villains come and go, but they kind of just come and then they go and they don't come back. So I'm just like, well, am I really
Yeah.
going to get attached to any of these characters?
Especially as a season that's that short, you'd think there'd be a through line that's a little
Right.
bit more prominent.
Right. I would have
So,
honestly
Yeah.
preferred if they just stuck with like one or two villains.
I mean, like,
You
Harley's story was very good.
Yeah, I like the Harley
So
story.
yeah. Yeah.
That's a different, interesting take on the character, but she's kind of done in like, an episode and a half, if you want to give her credit
Gone.
for,
Yeah.
the behind the scenes shenanigans that only the viewer knows before Batman knows. But honestly, it was like afterwards, it got kind of weird too, because there's that one scene where like Alfred's sleeping in his bed and then like young Bruce Wayne comes, or Batman, I guess, whatever, comes in and is just like, what did he say? We'll kill them all or burn them all or whatever. I'm just like,
I want them all. I didn't say kill them all.
He
I
just
make them
says he
all
wants
pay.
to make
Make
them
them all
pay.
oh,
pay.
pay.
Make
We'll
them
make them
all
all
pay.
pay.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, dude, like, what is this right now? Like, I get,
Yeah.
That's the Bruce Wayne thing, where it's like, maybe Alfred should have taken him to therapy at least once in one of these continuities, but
Wrong decision. Yeah.
because he goes, as an adult here, and he's just like, no, I'm not gonna have any of this. And Dr. Quinzel is like trying to reach out to him, and he's like, no, I'm good. And even, Pennyworth is like, finally, he's like, oh yeah, maybe you should. You're not missing these appointments. He's like, I don't give a shit. It's like, yeah, you're too old. You're too stubborn now. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's fine if we want a more mysterious Batman, but honestly, I feel like he's honestly not even a character in this own show.
I think it was a lot. It was a lot of Rogues Gallery, more than him, and the the Gordons. I guess it was. Yeah, it did feel like a side character in the show. When you think about the way that it was shot, it was more like he was. I think they shot it that way because it's supposed to be like he's very new and people don't really know he's there yet. And I think that's what they were maybe trying for. But
Sure,
I
but
do
like, I
agree
mean,
with
that's only that only justifies so much. I mean, we're watching a show called Batman, and
Yeah.
the only interesting development is through the Gordons or the villains.
It is. It is through the Gordons or the villains. Yeah.
So again, it just begs me the question: what is this show supposed to be doing that is interesting and makes me excited? Because like right now, it came and went. Like I'm just like, okay, that was fine. It's not
Yeah.
bad.
It won't be
but
my it won't be my shows of the year list. That's for
no,
certain.
definitely
Yes.
not.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even when season 2 comes out, it's like maybe I'll watch it. I don't know. Like I really don't. Like if it's just gonna be 10 more episodes
watch
of
it.
you know,
I'll
whatever.
watch it because I mean I'll watch it and let you know if they find a direction because I know what you're saying is your gripes. I mean I do like the it's got me from the nostalgia part of view where it does feel like the old show for myself. But um, Mike, did you watch it? Sounds like you did.
I've watched the whole thing by now.
So yeah,
I
we
have a
all have.
lot to
Okay, well not
say.
all of us, but yeah.
I have a lot to say about it. I am more on the meh side of this one.
That's what yeah, I mean.
I
It's nothing bad. Tony was like that last week. He was
Seems
enjoying it.
that's what the
my
vibe is
over
here on this group of people.
Yeah, yeah.
overall feeling is mostly like kind of disappointed. Um, this was obviously it's Bruce Timm and he's able to. The original animated series was supposed to be a period thing, but then they sort of fudged it a little to add more technology. This one is a period thing. It's like 1939, like when Batman was first new, or like 1940.
Yeah.
Um, and I love the look of it. I love the style.
Oh, the art looks the
I
same.
love.
Like looks very close to the original. Yeah,
I
I
disagree
think
with that.
I think it does.
I don't.
Hmm. I mean, they
it looks
made Batman look
similar.
different, but it looks very similar.
I think it looks very similar. Obviously they with the actual, you know, blue or black night sky instead of red, but um, it looks cool. The problem is, yeah, like you guys, like Tony said, it doesn't really do much that isn't like when I just watch a bunch of old animated series episodes, it has or to it anyway overall. Or, like this is just it feels like that, but not like this differences just make it kind of off instead of like good because it's so similar in its style and look and presentation. And also, I think this suffers from the fact that we watched X-Men '97.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what I
maybe.
said last week.
That's what he said.
I
Tony said it
said, how
last
do
week.
you bring like
Yeah,
I can't help but
Mike wasn't on
compare
last week.
X Men
Yeah,
'90s. No, I know. I'm just reminding. It's like how I can't help
I
but
listened to
compare
like
'97,
some of this, but not all of the
where
conversation.
it's like you're bringing a direct show from the '90s back and you're making a sequel to it, whereas like Bruce Timm's like, yeah, we're making a I don't know quasi reboot or whatever new continuity. But I'm just like I'm
I
so
don't know
much
what
more
it's
excited for
supposed
X
to
Men.
be.
Almost like a reimagining
Yeah,
of like what could Batman the animated series look like if it was if it wasn't Batman the animated series, but still wanting to be the Batman the animated series instead of just like
So,
continuing.
so with X-Men '97, you get like way better action, better animation, and more like mature storylines. Here, do we get any of that? I don't really know. I mean, it's a little slightly darker, yes, than the animated series, but not really darker than some of the stuff we've seen, like from expanded, like Tim verse when we get
yeah,
to like the Justice League cartoons and stuff.
right. And that's the thing is like I mean
So
the animated
that's
series could get dark. It wasn't like all the dark, but like the few times it did happen, you're like, oh, okay, like that character just died or
Mm.
became like a literal monster, like Clayface or whatever like that. And this is kind of like, yeah, if like things die, but this is like you're moving so quickly that you can't even really process it. Like I'll mention the one thing, the one episode that it was kind of interesting because it was a new rogue, I guess, with the vampire-ish character.
yeah,
yeah.
they also went headfirst into the supernatural in this, which I found odd for a generally more grounded take. Just went right in with that, but
Mm.
like 2 episodes of just full on supernatural nonsense.
Right. So
Yeah.
like I don't like that part is interesting if they want to ground it in like that supernatural thing. I'm fine with that if that's what they're going to do. Like that combined with the ghost episode. I was like, "Oh, okay. Those are probably more interesting to me than the average one." Um but again, it's just like this you're moving through these things so quickly. I just can't even care. It's like and I just know it's like cool, there's like 2 episodes left. Like these characters aren't going to appear again like and who knows if they're going to even appear in season 2 and stuff like that. So I know it's a little unfair to criticize like all of the animated series against this. But even if I were just compare like the first 10 episodes, I think this would lose to the original run.
Mm. From an
Yeah,
outside perspective, because I have not seen this at all, like, and you guys mentioned X-Men '97, like, I think with the difference with X-Men '97 is obviously it was a continuation of a story, and we got to see these characters mature and grow
Mm-hmm.
and have like so story arcs that were meaningful, and you got somewhat closure on certain things in a way, and you got to see more of the things that you loved about that original series. And here we're just treading back. Oh, again,
Well,
like
that's
every
what
time we
Mike.
do a Batman story, it's the same thing. It's like, oh, we're in
Yeah.
year two, we're in year one, we're in year two, we're in year one. Like
Well,
every
that's
time we get a Batman story, it's
yeah,
that. And that's what
But
like for me, like I know you guys hate Ben Affleck, but I was like very like happy to see like, hey, we got a Batman that's not getting a
Oh,
year
oh,
one, year
sorry.
two storyline.
Sorry, I have to do my thing. We saw the Waynes die again, so I'm just like,
Yep.
why? Like, why?
There,
I,
see, that's what I'm saying. Like, every
but like,
time we're
look,
getting
I
the
think
them,
same
I think like
loops.
I don't know if we saw
Mike's point
them.
though. Yeah, but Mike's point is the fact that it reminds it makes you want it to be like X-Men 97 because the show for me and Mike, I mean maybe not so much Tony, but reminded you of the original so much that it's jarring to not see
Well,
that
yeah, you're just
continuity.
going
Yeah,
backwards to,
yeah.
and instead
Like
of
and it's not
exploring,
different enough. It's not different
you're
enough
not
to
And
seeing the
to
that's
separate
growth.
itself. That's it. You know, it's not separating
and
itself.
that's just
Yeah.
one aspect of what
Like
I didn't love about it. Like you said, it's very, episodic. There's only like really one through line, and that's I mean, he's introduced I think pretty early, the Harvey Dent
Hmm.
storyline.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
Um, that's like
barely.
the
Yeah.
one through line, and we all know what's gonna happen aside from maybe the finale of it, but it's just
Yeah.
uh,
No, you're right. I mean,
there's not much really to it. So you see, the only through line is something that everyone, I feel like almost everyone who's watching this knows exactly what's going to happen.
yeah, one
yeah.
hundred
So
percent. Yeah,
kind of what's the point? Um, so yeah, I could have used a little more serialized things. Like again, X-Men '97. Even if it wasn't continuing something old, it still had its own very well contained, serialized story. This just it if you're gonna do like a new version of something old, which this still is what this feels like. Gotta you don't need to have it be like the same as it was, you know,
Make it
25,
different.
30
That's
years
why it's
ago,
like
in the
that's
way
why like
where you have these little, because you have like these episodes like it's for a kids show that kids don't really care. You'll see, villain of the week and then it's over with, and you have 10 of those here, and it's not really for kids. It's probably aiming mostly for, I would assume, people
yeah,
who were fans of the animated
yeah,
yeah,
series.
absolutely.
absolutely.
It's
I would
we're the
assume,
target demographic for this, 100%.
and it's just okay. So if you're gonna give me 10 episodes of something like that, give me a more adult continued story, not just like another week here and there. So yeah, it was hard for anything to really feel like it had much traction.
Yeah.
Definitely moments I liked. I did like the final episode because something finally happens. It
Mm-hmm.
feels like,
Yeah,
even with Batman's characterization, something finally happens. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Kind of
he's a
clear.
little bit
otherwise,
less of an asshole to his butler.
Yeah.
yeah,
So
like you get a little bit more
we'll
out of them
see.
there.
We'll see if they even get a second season. We
No,
don't
no,
even know
they
that's
absolutely
happening.
are.
So. Okay.
It was a deal or something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Two season
so
deal.
it's fine.
Okay.
And just the one thing I do have to say about the animation, when I say it looks inferior, like if you look at a cell versus cell for the most part, you're gonna be like, yeah, these are almost indistinguishable. But what I'm talking about is like the mood and the lighting and the environment. So like in the original series, if Batman's snooping around, and I'll cite one of the early episodes, I think, when he goes into like an office to rummage through some files, right? In the original series, at least like the first, 2/3 or whatever before they did the art style change, right, to match, I guess,
Yes. The WB new art. The
yeah,
new art. Yeah.
the second style. Like you would
Yeah.
see kind of like only the shadow of Batman. Like it would be dark, like blues and blacks, and you'd only see his eyes, right, in the dark. But then in this one, it's just kind of like you see him the whole thing, and there's just like a dark shadow gradient cast over him, and I just like feel that's kind of cheap. Like it's not really effective as we've seen before. So to me, in that aspect, plus the animation in terms of like, I don't think there's a single good fight in the entire 10 episodes that I can recall, and like not like Batman's supposed to be like flashy and fighting, but I'm just like, man, none of these were well choreographed or made me feel like he was like a master of all the martial arts and stuff like that. It's just kind of like he throws his batarang around and
Not much, yeah,
yeah,
not much
Yeah.
battering
It's not much.
actually.
yeah,
No, it's actually that's where I think it gets hurt the most with X-Men '97, because they're just like, all right, we have this new, budget, new perspective. Um, I guess, new influences of every other cartoon from other like anime and everywhere else where we can like make these fight scenes look really cool. This it's no better than the original animated series. It's kind of, you know,
Yeah.
same. Maybe some of that was kind of goofy back then, and it still looks kind of goofy now here and
Yeah.
there. It was.
Yeah.
It didn't raise the bar in any way that you would hope a modern, you
Yeah.
know, adaptation would.
Yep. All right.
I don't know. I'm not excited about the next season of it. I'll probably watch it when it's out, but I'm not
Yeah.
excited now.
All right. Well, we'll see. All right, Tony. Anything else you've watched?
Nope, that's it.
Mike.
And that's it. I rewatched like Turtles 2 for some reason.
Okay. Kino. Corey. Anything for you?
Yeah, I mean, there's a movie that came out this weekend.
You saw it? No, you did not.
Was? What's
So, I mean, as you guys
Tree
know,
falls in a
if you
forest.
listen to this podcast, you know I'm a Borderlands fan, and I had to see the Borderlands movie. I had to go see it, and now you guys can, don't have to,
Yeah. Thank you. Not that we were going to.
Essentially, so yeah, this movie is a huge, just slap in the face and a kick to the nutsack. Like, this is to all Borderlands fans, how this movie got made. Like, fuck you, Randy Pitchford, and fuck you, Eli Roth, and fuck you, Lionsgate. This is double birds. Like, this is just like, you guys, what? I just want as much money, so we're gonna throw like this IP, and then we'll throw it out there, and the fans will gobble it up because they don't give a shit. Like, we don't care about you. Like, that's how it felt like watching this film. It was the most horrific piece of shit movie. Like, this is such an insult to the way to any fan. Like, I don't understand how anybody could look at this script, watch this film, and be like, yeah, let's put this in the movie theater.
Well,
Like,
apparently,
I am so happy it did so poorly, and that the Phantom Menace beat this movie opening weekend. Like freaking 2014, whatever. What? Not even 20. I don't even remember when that 1999, whatever that movie
Yeah,
came
you're
out.
going.
Yes, that's
1999.
how long
Re-release
ago
of
that
Phantom
is,
Menace.
yeah.
Beat it. Yes.
This fucking movie, man. Oh my god. So like, you have characters that people love in this
Yeah.
in Borderlands.
Which
you have these
casting, when
characters.
they casted, you were like, "What are you guys doing here?"
No, I mean, we've talked about how bad the casting is, and like, Eli Roth has yet to make a good movie, right? So it's like, this is him like just trying to follow in James Gunn's footsteps and make his Guardians of the Galaxy, and he's like the brokest of broke ass James Gunn directors, right? He's like, oh, I'm gonna make these little horror films, and then I'm gonna follow up and make a cool like sci-fi hipster like music and guns and shooting, and it's gonna be great. I'm gonna make my little Guardians of the Galaxy thing here, and people will love it. But like, you change the fundamental aspects of these characters so much that there's nothing about them that resembles anything from the game. Like, Tiny Tina, people like Tiny Tina, but they like her because she's wacky and weird, but they don't want like, there's a video game based off her, and it's like, but she's not the main focus of the games, right? She's there on the peripheral, and it's fun and funny because it's in spurts.
Yeah.
But you're not even getting that character. You're getting a totally different character. This character, it's like a amalgamation of different things from the game that they're putting into this character, and it's not like, spoiler, it's not even like she's a clone. Like, it's like, fuck, what the fuck is going on here? The game story, like, background for her is like tragic and sad, and she's deranged because of her backstory, and the way she behaves is because of her backstory. And in this movie, they changed all of that. And then the character, the villain, is like, he's not even really a villain. He's just kind of this businessman guy who's not even a broke ass handsome Jack. He's just not even handsome Jack. It's like, you don't even take the most popular character, like, villain in your game and put him in this movie. You're just gonna take a worse version of him and throw him on screen and then make him it's like, this spoiler everywhere here, but like, he's like Tiny Tina's father because he created her because she's the only way to open the vault. And it's like, that's not how it works in the game at all, obviously. And then Kate Blanchett is a great actress, but like, she's not a 25-year-old. Like, she's playing a 25-year-old essentially. She's 50 years old. You're getting a woman who's twice the age of the character in the game, which people play younger all the time. I understand that, but you can tell, like, she is not she was not right for this role. Like immediately you can tell that. And it's like, how are you watching this and think this is a good idea? And what is killing me is Kevin Hart was probably my favorite part of this film.
What?
And that's like that is what's so crazy about this movie. I hated, and it's sad to say this, but I hated Claptrap being Jack Black.
That's
It
what I
did
heard
not
online. Like
work
people are
for me.
like Jack Black didn't actually bring it to this role or something like that.
No,
Like
that's what I
you
heard.
have, like, he's not a human character. Like, you have a voice actor that plays him in the game. You can just do that. He
You could just
doesn't
do that.
sound. It doesn't sound like him. Like at least you get. He doesn't sound like him enough because you just know it's Blackjack. You know it's him, and so it just throws it off. And so his jokes don't land either. And then Krieg is in there for no reason. He's just like, there is no reason for him to be there, and there's no explanation why this psycho is acting on behalf of these people here. And then Lilith doesn't even want to be a vault hunter. She's like, "Oh, I'm not a vault hunter. Like that's not what I'm here for." But the whole, it's just crazy. It's amazing that they thought this was a good idea. Like I
I don't
don't
even know how you
need a
release it. I
one-to-one.
don't know how you release it.
No, I don't even need a one-to-one representation of the game. But I need you to keep the fundamental aspects of what made the game great and what they built with the games and build on that instead of just making up like your own little thing here. And it just amazes me that they fucked this up so much. Like I said, the this is it's an insult to all the Borderlands fans, and I am ashamed to say that this movie is based on a video game that I care so much about. It's
What
Well,
I
I
had
think-
heard was
I think-
Craig Mazin wrote
Yeah.
the script originally, guy who did Chernobyl and half of Last of Us,
yeah.
HBO. But then Eli Roth apparently hacked the script to pieces and did what we found now.
Yeah.
And Craig had to fight to have his name removed from the credits for this movie.
No, so what they did is they couldn't remove his name because he had to be credited. So he said, "Well, just use a pseudonym for me, please. I don't want my name on this film."
Wow.
So like they still says like written by Eli Roth, and then it has like a guy's name. And it's like that's obviously Craig Mazin, but he did not want
like-
anything to do with this film after Eli Roth touched it.
It's like C. Rag Mez. It's like
While we're on the hate train, can you refresh my memory? What else Eli Roth has done?
It's done Hostel, which is a torture porn movie essentially.
Yeah, I know that.
Thanksgiving, which is a stupid horror film based during Thanksgiving.
he did this weird pseudo like rape murder thing with the Manson.
Inglorious Bastards. Didn't he do that?
Oh no,
Oh, that was
he
Tarantino.
was in that movie.
He was in Inglorious Bastards.
That was
I'm just bringing up his
Tarantino.
credits. That's Tarantino.
He was
Planet
he
Terror,
did Cabin
Grindhouse was
Fever.
in that. That was
I think
Tarantino.
Cabin Fever.
Yeah,
You gotta look
Cabin
at
Fever.
director.
I know. I did a quick Google search, and I'm bringing up Tarantino movies
Alright.
apparently.
It's
Did he do
just-
Clock?
Gosh,
So-
it's so disappointing. And
Why
the
didn't they
budget
do
on
some
this film,
credits?
like they spent a lot of money, and I don't know where because
Oh, here he is. Yeah. go
it's just so bad. Like it's just nothing. There's nothing to look at. Like Borderlands is such a bright and like interesting thing. They kind of did the whole cell shaded thing. They essentially stole it from another game, but then it made it their own, and it's like a unique thing. But they don't honor that all in this film.
You know what this is,
like-
Corey? You know what this is?
Tell
This
me.
is karma for aliens.
on. This is it. All I know is Randy Pitchford is just as guilty.
Because we
because
have
he's
an alien
blocking
movie
people.
coming out very soon.
No, I know. You know what? Yeah, I texted you, Tony. Like the Alien Romulus trailer made me like, I kind of like
I wanna
the look
see
of
it.
this movie.
I want to see it. Yeah,
Yeah.
It looks good.
I want to see it. And Randy Pitchford's blocking people on Twitter if you criticize the movie.
Well, he's
Oh no,
tweeted
I'm
out saying
blocked
like,
by
he
Randy
asked-
Pitchford. Oh no.
I mean, he even tweeted out, it's like, what do you guys want? Like a one-to-one representation? I was like, you don't need to do that, but you don't even have Mordecai or Brick, who are two of the original Vault Hunters. You're not even like following, like, you're adding characters in there. Like General Knox is in this movie, but is a totally different character, has no purpose whatsoever in this film. There is no point to anybody in this movie whatsoever.
No,
Like
doesn't
being
sound,
in
it
this.
doesn't sound like it. So, hey, you know what?
There's no heart. I mean, well, there's
I
Kevin Hart,
really-
but there's no like emotional like whole. And it's so funny because
I'm rooting for
like
Alien.
I was just watching. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. It's so bad. It's
Well,
I feel like anybody could have just filmed like the cosplayers, like the cosplayers' passion that they have for this game. Like just make up a fan homemade video, and that would
If
have
you
done
watch
more
something on
money.
YouTube, better, right?
No,
Just
I
something you
mean,
made on
yeah, so
YouTube.
like
Yeah.
because the people like they are so committed to like their cosplaying with this game, and they're so committed to it. Like I think fans would have done a way better job of just
Yeah.
filming in the back of a
but yeah, it's gonna be one of the worst bombs
convention.
of all time. I mean,
I hope
what was it?
so.
15 million domestic opening.
So, like, I mean, it's taking video game movies like back.
Back.
It's like it's like pulling
Yeah,
them all
that's the
back. It's pulling
problem.
them all down.
That's my
It's
problem with
like
this movie existing is that all the work that's been done gets undone by one film because it's like, yeah, it's just bad.
I
It
mean,
tries
I
to
don't
bring
know
new
if that.
audiences and it fails. What?
I don't know if that's gonna
I
cause
don't
like a
think it's
ripple.
going to like that, but just like people, anytime you say, "Hey, video game movies are good," like anybody can just be, that
Yeah,
Borderlands
yeah,
2024. It's like, come on, like, oh my God, like
yeah,
it. How do you fuck this up so much? Because like you had such great
Source material.
storylines already. Like you didn't need to just go off in your own direction like this. Like sure, adapt it, change it for the screen, but don't change it so much that they're unrecognizable and there's no point to anything.
yeah. So, all right. Uh, let's see. Box office: Deadpool, Wolverine still number one, 53.8 million, crossed $1 billion worldwide.
Yeah.
Right.
And there's a
Congratulations.
perfect example of why you can do things faithfully and do really well. Because this is a PG-13 film that felt very PG-13, but it's like a mature game where you can like you're destroying people, psychos. Like you don't have any of that humor in this movie because it's PG-13.
Yeah.
You can still make money being rated R.
Yep. All right. So that was a good box office there. Like I said, that was really, I mean, 50 million ends with us. Pretty good weekend for that as well.
Blake Lively.
That was going head to head.
Apparently
Blake
Ryan
Lively. Yeah.
crashed a couple of her interview on the press tour for
Did he?
and pitched Deadpool and
Blake...
Wolverine.
it still beat it 3.8 million
It
to beat
did.
it by.
Ashley,
Twisters.
Ashley actually went to see that movie. One of the actors apparently went to her school.
Oh,
One of the leads went to Hackettstown. So
oh, cool.
yeah,
Yeah, so that did
Did
pretty
you
well.
go see
$50
it with
million
her?
opening.
no.
Come even see
Twisters.
my movies. I'm not gonna go see yours.
Oh no, but she didn't see the Wolverine
Oh,
either. We
okay.
had
All right,
kids,
gotcha.
so it's trade off, you know.
Yeah, scratch. I bet I scratched it. Twisters is doing well, I think, right?
Yeah, 15 million. It's coming out digitally now. It's coming to streaming now. You can actually, I think tomorrow or tonight, it's already available. I think, which is weird. Too quick.
Oh,
Because it's
sorry,
doing
I
well.
missed your thing here. There's Lilith in this movie, the Borderlands movie. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So Trevor asked if there were sirens. Lilith is in the movie. That's all I'll say.
Okay.
What
Let's
else?
see other news. Let's get into some news. Let's start off with Paramount. Paramount Television Studios is shutting down as Paramount moves to lay off thousands of employees and cut costs upwards of $500 million.
Oh.
$500 million being
Damn,
cut.
it's really smart of them to do a streaming service.
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
funny part was this is a studio from them that obviously Halo did shit. They've released good stuff on other networks, like Jack Ryan is theirs on Amazon, but it's not on Paramount. The worst part about this, it was weird timing, Corey, when you sent that link. I actually was waiting I was at the service station for my car today, and it was on TV, the news, and they were saying this made the news. They laid off 2,000 employees, and they turned a profit last quarter. For the first time as a company, they started to finally turn a profit. So then they just cut. You know what I mean? Like that's obviously you're in the right direction.
Hey, maybe we can make even more money if we just cut all these jobs.
Yeah.
What are they doing for us? Nothing.
But yeah, so content from there is, I mean, obviously Viacom, CBS, all of them they're already looking to merge. They were trying to sell their divisions they've been trying to sell their divisions for a while. That merger fell through, I think, with one of the big ones, Apple, or I forget when. One of them fell through. But yeah, so that's not good for them, and we're gonna get more. We'll get more.
Yeah, when Yeah, when can I watch my Turtles content not on Paramount Plus? That's what I'm looking
Well,
for.
now it's going to happen. They're going to start selling. If they're that low on money, like cutting this much, they're going to start selling their content out. They have to, like
It'll
Netflix
be on
or
Netflix
something
within
else will get
6
the
months.
agreements. Yeah. Yep. Um, let's see. Do you want to talk about the Yakuza TV show?
Yeah, I
Uh,
do because it feels like we're going the way of Borderlands a little bit
yeah.
here.
So the cast reveals they have never played the games because the writers asked them not to.
Yeah,
I don't see
that's
this as a big
some
deal, honestly.
Brian Singer bullshit back from 2000. Which
I mean,
again,
it's
I defend those old movies. I found them good for what they were at the time, a good introduction. But and also apparently a lot of the actors still snuck and read the
I
comics
think the
anyway.
problem is
Mhm.
you had like I'm just comparing. You brought Borderlands. You had the guy that's the face of Borderlands in the real world, Randy Pitchford, on set all the time. He wants to create this. He even said something about like we're gonna. This is the beginning of Borderlands, out like of the universe, whatever. It's like if you have a guy like that who's so close to the game and still puts out garbage like that, like who cares? Like if they don't want them to do this because they want to do their own thing, fine. Let's see how it comes out because it's gonna be way better than whatever Borderlands is
Like,
anyway.
do you
So
guys think the Last of Us actors played fucking Last of Us?
they someone
Someone,
talked
I think
about it
at
playing
least
them
some of them
playing
did.
Last of Us.
yeah, yeah.
You think Pedro Pascal played through all of the game?
I don't,
Not a long game.
I think what's her name, Bella Ramsey did. I think she. I'm gonna look that up. I thought she said that
I
actually.
mean,
I mean,
Pedro
there's a
Pascal
difference
might be too
between being
busy showing
familiar
up
with
in
the
everything.
being familiar with it and compared to saying like, hey, don't
This is,
I don't
I
want you to
mean,
know anything
again,
about it.
yeah, and that's like an old school red flag, and this is just one of the things they said. There's going to be no karaoke in it, which is a staple of the series, and that they wouldn't go into like sub story type tone too much
The only
either.
thing I'm like, Amazon we can trust is gonna have high production value, but like the Lord of the like Lord of the Rings, the Wheel of Time adaptation was hot garbage season one. They did a lot better season two, but I don't know about adaptations these days with stuff.
I'm just again with this and a few other things. Like I said, I'm worried this will come cross losing the humor that makes the Yakuza franchise what it is, in my opinion, and we're just gonna get you know a soap opera basically, which is not necessarily what I want from that
Ugh,
IP.
I don't want to judge anything, but like, you know, I'm so jaded right now.
Lost all hope in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
you find anything, Jim? Pedro Pascal played through Last of Us?
No,
No?
you're not wrong.
Okay.
You are not wrong.
Okay, that's weird.
Actually, Bella Ramsey just started playing it last
That's
year.
weird. Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's
Weird.
almost like
Well,
it's
to be
not a
told not to
prerequisite.
though, but they were told not to go to it. Don't do that.
And, but here's the thing. I think that's fine, right? Because what was it? I think actually for Acolyte, they were talking about how they wanted a balance of people who didn't have any ties to Star Wars because they're like, if you have people that are huge fans of it, then you get crap like Rise of Skywalker, where it's like, oh, everything has to have a meaning, everything has to have like symbolism, like, oh, this is Leia's blaster
Somehow
holster. It's so
Palpatine
important.
returns.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you want somebody there that can be like, why is this supposed to be a big moment? Like it's a fucking blaster holster. Does it do anything? No, it holds your blaster. Okay, then what? Why is this supposed to be significant? Did she talk about it in the original movie? No. It's like, okay, well, fuck it then. Why are we putting this in the fucking show? Anyway, I'm not saying it's going to be a great movie, but like when I see this tweet, it just reads as clickbait. Like I don't know why it's a big deal.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it's good.
Again,
Hopefully the series is good.
I
'Cause I
again,
want to
I
pick it.
think it's just in combination with those other details that they let out. I think they're missing the point a little, and it's an old school, thing that I think,
I think it goes both
we used to
ways.
get with video game adaptations. It's an old red flag.
You know, sometimes you can bring something new and exciting because you don't know anything about it, and sometimes you can honor it a little bit better because you do. And I think like John Berthwall like did a great job as Punisher because he was so invested in that character and was like really into like I want to learn more about what this makes this character tick. Whereas maybe it doesn't work for some other things. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. Lastly, we have Disney D23 event occurred last week, so we had a lot of new trailers shown for shows
Over the
that
weekend,
premiered.
not last week.
over the weekend. Oh,
Mhm.
it's last week, just not Sunday. Um, let's see. We've got Star Wars Skeleton Crew. Teaser trailer was shown for that, which is actually coming a lot sooner than I expected. December 3rd of this year.
Who
New
fucking
Star Wars
cares?
show. Maybe it's good.
Do you care?
What
The
is
good
that
thing
even
though,
about?
that's like a kids group. Like that looks like Goonies and Star Wars. That's pretty much
Yeah,
it.
you don't care, Jim.
No, I'm not high on that one. Andor though, Andor season 2, definitely got is in production, which is great, confirmed. An undisclosed date to premiere, but I'm happy to hear that that's moving along now, because that was a great show. Let's see. They showed on the Marvel side they had Agatha, the
I thought all
Agatha
along.
All Along, new trailer or official trailer. Was released, coming obviously September 8th with 2 premiere shows. We saw some stuff from that. I don't know, was any big reveals in that one? I don't think there was in that one. No.
In the
On the
trailer.
trailer. I don't think so,
I
no.
don't think so.
Ironheart was shown, a trailer for that, which got pretty good feedback actually, which was cool. People said it actually looked really good, which is interesting. Coming out next year, but no date on that. Let's see.
That's a
They
show
had
or is that a
It's a show.
movie?
It's a show.
Okay.
It's a Disney Plus show. They did have a whole animated panel going. Oh, that's what they should. Didn't they mention like Spider-Verse isn't coming to like 2026 or 2027? Was that different news?
Spider-Verse?
That was separate news.
That was separate news.
That was
Yeah,
separate news.
I
Okay.
don't
didn't
think
talk
that's
about it in
Disney.
2027.
So
No, it's not Disney, but I know that was announced around the same time. So I was just making sure. But Black Panther: Wakanda Forever was shown there, which is cool. We have no date for it. All this is coming next year. So I think the biggest thing to show though was the
oh, there's
Daredevil
a
Born Again.
Black Panther. It's not Wakanda Forever. That was the movie. Isn't it?
Oh, did I say Wakanda Forever?
What
I'm
is
sorry.
Yeah, what is
The
There's
Black
like
Panther
a mini series.
the
Black Panther
series
mini
is
series
coming was
coming.
shown. So and the Peter Parker, the Spider-Man, the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man was shown as well at D23. No dates yet. The Black they're all animated. What's it called
Jim,
exactly?
this is
What?
killing us here a little. This is a mess. I'm getting lost in this description here.
With what? What this is?
Yeah.
This is all animated.
There's
TV
animated
shows,
shows.
right?
That's what
Right.
Jim meant to imply. There's a Black
I did
Panther
say that.
animated show, and there is
Sorry.
a Spider-Man animated show. Both those were shown
Okay.
off.
Yep.
Right.
So we had the animated stuff for those shown. No dates yet for that, but they looked pretty great. They were good feedback. Obviously, this stuff was not shown online, so you had to be at D23 like exclusive. Yes, there have been some trailer leaks, so we have seen some content. So I'm kind of interested in that Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man cartoon. I don't know why. I hope it's good because they've had some
Things have
great
changed
Spider-Man
a lot
cartoons.
since they announced it.
I know, but like Spectacular
I'm
Spider-Man
not
was
saying it's a
very good.
bad thing.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that it's gone through some iterations here.
I know, but I hope it's good because those shows were good for a while, and
Yeah, well,
Um,
this looks like more like an old-timey,
Yeah.
the original cartoon or whatever like that. But I thought when it was, according to your point, thought it was originally supposed to be like Tom Holland's Spider-Man during
Right.
like, high school.
It was
It
like
was.
a
Yeah,
it was
freshman.
originally.
We heard of
Yeah,
this
freshman
a
year.
long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah,
we
so
heard
yeah,
about
I
that,
think
but
I think plans change for whatever reason, and that's fine. No big deal.
Mhm.
Yeah, I hope it's entertaining and fun though to watch. Again, we go back to the cartoons like the Batman we just watched, the Cape Crusader, which wasn't different enough, but I think they've done a good job with the Spider-Man cartoons differentiating themselves.
Yeah, I
all
mean
the
most of
different
the
places.
cartoons
Spectacular
are
was
pretty
great,
different from
Yeah.
each other, so
Mhm.
that's fine.
so I hope it's good. The big thing shown though at D23, in my opinion, was the Daredevil Born Again series. So we've got they showed a whole preview, which I was able to see as well from the leaked footage. Looks very much Daredevil from Netflix, very much bloody, violent, and dark. And that looks, I'm pretty happy to see that. So that looks really good. That's, yeah, I mean, that looked, I know that Vincent D'Onofrio was on, said that they did things in this show that he was shocked made it into the season. But the
Yeah, I
The
mean, I
show's
think
not-
they did some. It's nice to see that everyone's back. Like that's
Yeah.
because like it seemed for a little bit there that like not everybody was going to be back. So it's
Well,
like,
and minor spoilers, but it was in the trailer. John Bernthal is back. So
Well,
he's
that's
not been all over.
showing
like,
up to all the interviews with all of
Yeah.
them. So
Yeah.
I figured, yeah.
that's why I said minor spoilers. But yeah, he's in it. He's in the trailer. He looks awesome. It looks great to see him back, and I just think that their reshoots, their redone, had to be. I don't understand what they were trying to do beforehand, so I'm very happy that they listened to just the actors too, who are saying like this is not what we were doing in the show. Like this doesn't feel like it's what the fans would want, and Feige listened and they reshot it.
Yeah. Otherwise, we get a Warner Brothers thing where it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. But that's not coming until March, unfortunately. Looks like
That's fine.
March 2025. So it's a little ways out, but it looks fantastic. Like I'm excited again for some darker and Netflix the Marvel shows on there. They look great, and they'll be more interconnected this time because they are part of the universe this time. It also showed like White Tiger in the
Green
the
guy.
trailer. Yeah. So and the second season is in the works. It was revealed as well already.
Yeah, they're probably confident.
Big hopes. Big hopes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm excited for this quite a bit, and D23 is more of their lighter event, so it's not like super like world premieres, but I thought it was a pretty good D23 for them. Disney had a really good run with that. They also announced like Lilo and Stitch live action thing, which for us is not a huge deal, but for like Disney, like for kids and stuff, they're gonna eat that up. So it's gonna do well.
Old now.
Did you guys see the leaked trailers for Captain America or Thunderbolts?
I didn't watch that. Was that leaked? I didn't.
Well,
I thought it was
leaked. There's a bunch on the feeds today too. For
okay. Yeah, I didn't watch it. How was that?
Yep, I thought they were both really good. Like the more I see Captain America, the more I get excited for it, or it gives me those Winter Soldier vibes, which I know they're intentional because I think we all universally agreed that was the best solo film from the MCU. And I think it makes more sense because Sam is a bit more grounded, not a super soldier basically and stuff like that. So he has to be careful, way more careful with the threats he's facing. But Thunderbolts looks interesting to me just because they brought back all the villains from previous MCU movies that did survive. You have Ghost, you have Taskmaster, stuff like that. You have U.S. Agent now. Yelena, who I love. I anytime we get to see more Yelena, I'm happy about. So I think that looks really cool.
Yeah, I'm very curious about that one as well because again, the groundedness of it is nice, and then the little not necessarily it's gonna do Suicide Squad better than Suicide Squad's doing, and I'm very curious how they handle Sentry. Like I am so curious because that is like the most powerful character.
Yeah, it's one of the most powerful MCU characters.
Like, sure. So it's like, what are they doing there? Like, I'm very curious, and it's too bad. Shoot, what's the guy's name? That was Glenn. Yeah, what's his name?
Stephen Young.
Anyway, something. Yeah, Stephen Young.
Yeah.
So it's too bad he couldn't fill that role, but yeah, I'm curious to see what they do there and what that asterisk means because it apparently has significant meaning in the title.
Yeah.
And then we got to see some more Red Hulk, which looks good. In the Brave New World trailer that was leaked.
Yeah. Audience was clapping at that, so I was like, okay. And like you could see the Harrison Ford part in there. Like, oh, okay, interesting. And somebody was he was doing an interview I think over the weekend, or last week, and somebody's like, oh, what was your thought process on filming this? He's like, they paid me a lot of money to act stupid, like it's like, yeah, man, okay, yep, checks out.
Oh man, he's at that age where he can give a fuck.
No, absolutely. I said that years ago when he first signed up for Force Awakens.
Fucking 40 years.
Yeah, probably
It's
not.
always
Right.
been like this.
Yeah, so you're probably right. All right, and is that all of it for the news? I think we got everything. Looking through, I don't see anything else. So, that's gonna wrap it up, guys, for this Moviecast. So thanks for tuning in. We're going to Gamecast coming up next. Once again, if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe, give us a like. Also on Twitch, if you're watching us here live, we appreciate it, guys. Come and join us. We'd like to have a chat. So that's going to wrap it up here. We'll see you on the Gamecast. We are done.